merciful, be especially merciful, and with sending favor on our leader Muhammad and his family and his companions, all of them. I don't know what it is, but this is the second time that I'm recording, and I want to ask your pardon and give my apologies for just the timing of these lives. And your pardon. Okay, cool. And we're here. But yeah, I know that you guys were giving some comments last time, and I wasn't seeing them because the lag is real on my side. But I did recognize that Roy, you were on the previous live. Welcome back. Um, I'm far from a baby, but I will say that I really appreciate seeing people who come back. I also am going to follow up on a conversation from yesterday regarding pre-K, white supremacy, story time, all of that, with some of the anecdotes, with how Allah is not colorblind, and we're taught kun rabbaniyun, which is to be godly, and so colorblindness is just not it. And I first heard about colorblind racism from a Jewish professor, Dr. Jen Roth Gordon. Shout out to Dr. Jen Roth Gordon. I know that there's a lot of ideas about what this means, but essentially it's just saying, I don't see color, race doesn't matter, we're all the same. And under the guise of like being human, and the whole Eminem idea of like, okay, we might have different colors, but inside we're the same. And number one in the Quran is very clear about this, because in the chapter of the Romans, Surah Ar-Rum, there's a verse 22, and this is the chapter 30, where Allah tells us the meaning of it is, and one of his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your languages and colors. Surely in this are signs for those of sound knowledge. And then when we go a step further, we see a very direct reasoning for this, which is إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُم مِّن قُرُوبٍ وَشُعُوبٍ وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. And that certainly we have created you in nations and tribes so that you may know. And ta'arif is one way of saying to know, and alam is another way. Alam is more of like traditional scholarship or book knowledge, whereas arif is a deeper, more Gnostic knowing, an embodied knowing of what? Of Allah. And yet it is intricately tied in with nations and tribes and the diversity of those. So that we cannot know unity unless we first know diversity. Because what is there to unify if we're all the same, right? So it's about the unity, and like Imam Fode calls it aggregation or separation before unification, sort of thing. But regardless, the point is, in the last verse, and this is the most strong advice for anti-racism, for anti-white supremacy, because Allah also tells us at the end of the verse in the chapter of the cow, Sibghat Allah, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنَ اللَّهِ سِبْغَةً. And it is the coloring of Allah. That's the meaning of it, the coloring of Allah. And what better coloring than the coloring of Allah? He didn't say the absence of color. He said the coloring, which is very clear. And so this is a gift. This is something to be appreciated. Our colors, our nations, our tribes, our languages, our diversity, not just on the surface level, like, oh, this food, let's have a cultural day and let's dress this way, but to actually know the history, both the glory and the gore, okay? And to not suppress some parts of some histories and raise up other parts of other histories. You know how they do. So, and I'm saying they as in the hegemony, right? Like the hierarchy of 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 our world, right? Our world order. And so, welcome, Cherry. The point, yes, love bless you, sis. I'm glad to see another sister in here. So the whole point is just that colorblindness is not it. If we are looking to be godly, we have to see color first. We have to acknowledge it. We have to appreciate it. what does it say if we don't if we don't appreciate color? It's like saying color is bad. What's not to see about it? Like I don't know how else to say it. I get the intention, like, oh, we just want things to, like, we just want to look away and then think it's going to go away. But why would we want color to go away? Maybe we want racism to go away. Maybe we look away from that. But even that, it's like we see the results in real time of that. We see, like, for me, the reason why my child is not at the school where, he has so much chosen family, where he's had, birthday parties every month for, because the leadership is practicing this colorblindness, which is a form of racism. And I asked them, why don't we have Black History Month? And I recognize that most districts, even at a private school, they don't celebrate Black History Month. And then in the districts, most of the districts in the city and around the state don't have Black History Month, despite being majority white. You would think there would be more of a need for something like that, right? But this school with pretty much all white staff, except for my kids' teacher, who was amazing. We will forever ever have a place in our hearts for her. She is Latina, but yeah, like, she's the one. She only teaches not white, and they have the audacity to say, like, with pride, that they don't want to accidentally exclude one race. And it's like, what race is not included in these cultural months and celebrations? And it's, well, it's the white one. And the thing is, that's because all the history that's emphasized is theirs. Like, that is shoved down our throats time and time again. And then we see 1 month, the shortest month of the year, and you fumble, you say something like that. I mean, I can vibe with the whole idea of trying to incorporate it in everyday learning and all of that, but it's like it wasn't, because it's too easy to just dismiss it and, like, for it to be swept under the rug and not do it because you have an all white staff. So unless you're intentionally incorporating it through Black History Month, through things like that, it's gonna get ignored. It's gonna get repressed. And yeah, you want to have a White History Month? Be my guest. Is that age appropriate for preschoolers? I don't think preschoolers need that much violence, to be honest. But if you want to do that, feel free. But the way they talk, like the way that white people talk about whiteness is so different than the way that they talk about other colors. They're invisible. They have this, like, just this, like, normalcy to them that is not highlighted in the way that blackness is and darkness is, and really all things that are not all peoples that are not white. And so all that's to say that the Quran, to me, Allah has the natural antidote to this. And as long as we aspire to be godly, we will not be colorblind. We will appreciate color. We will recognize the history in those. Like the chapter of the Rum, Al-Rum itself means the Romans in the Quran. And that Romans, chapter holds the verse that talks about the very same thing we started with. Allah created the diversity of your languages and colors. These are signs. These are signs. That means we don't just ignore them. We don't just sweep them under the rug. We value those signs. They're guideposts. They're meant to lead somewhere, just like any sign. Follow the signs. Follow the languages. Follow the diversity. Follow the history. Where does it lead? It's an important place, I'll tell you that much. It's not really a place, though. It's beyond a place. It's beyond time. It's beyond space, which is what we all need. Because if we're so hyper focused on the 3D and, like, what's right in front of us, oh, we're depressed. We're suicidal. We are ready to just give up, because this can't be it. This can't be all. It's hell. If you are not in, um, you're faced with a position of being either oppressor or being oppressed, if we're just focused on the 3D. But if we go beyond the 3D, then we see what the Prophet, God bless him, he's taught us, which is that we can free both the oppressor and the oppressed. And that there is an option even within our own hearts. There is a level of control that we have, which is also empowering. And so with that, I'm going to leave you. Thank you for listening. We will be back, creator willing, tomorrow. For the next 100 days, for 100 days is the aim of going on here. So we're about halfway through there. As far as Chowdhury, last name Chowdhury, it looks like. You ask where I'm from, the most common question. It's in my description. You want to look at the link in the description. That is like the number one thing, get IRL and on here. So look in there and you will see. I do see your chats, but I mentioned in the beginning that they are there's a big lag. So I highly recommend that you put any comments in the comment section where they'll be able to be seen versus like having to dig through the live chat and figure out, like, it's just more accessible to put them in the regular comment. So please take care of yourselves. Please take care of your families. Until next time, sit down. Peace.